Hello everyone, welcome back to our 13 colonies map. We're up to video number 6, and in the last video we added rivers and we shaded the coastline. This video we're going to add mountains to the map. So let's take a look at what we've done so far. You can see we added all those rivers, and I've also shaded all of the coastline. All of the solid line from Maine down to present-day Florida, that's all coastline, and I've put a nice little edging of blue along there. I haven't gone too far out because sometimes it's nice to have some white space so that you can write things off to the side. Okay, now so we're almost done with this map. We're just going to try to add some mountains, which they were a big physical feature of the 13 colonies. The mountains actually created a western boundary for a lot of these colonies. That's one of the reasons why it's kind of an open boundary along the western edge of many of these colonies. These mountains ran from Georgia all the way up to Maine, well, Massachusetts colony, present-day Maine. Okay, so let's start adding some mountains. I've put in a few along the path of the mountains. Now we're going to fill it in. Let's start down in Georgia. And now we don't want to go, let me just demonstrate the mountain symbols. You don't want to go too heavy with the mountain symbols, kind of like this. It gets a little too crowded. You're better off symbolizing the mountains by just making them a little bit spaced out. Sometimes it's fun to put a couple together like that. And the mountains don't just run in a single line. They're kind of spread out. So make sure that you space them a little bit. Okay, and when it gets up into New England, we might have to go a little bit closer, but I'm not gonna jam them together too close. Okay, so let's go into North Carolina. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna be the present day Tennessee, I believe, and then you've got going up into Virginia. Present-day West Virginia. You can see I'm following sort of a diagonal line there. Okay, going up into, I don't think there were too many in Maryland. You could put one in the westernmost portion of Maryland. But in Pennsylvania, they start to angle over toward New England. And into New York. Here's where they start to really angle into New England. So you can see I'm not leaving any big gaps either. I'm kind of keeping it a continuous line. Okay, now most of this is the Appalachian Range, and we're going to label that in a minute, but sometimes, okay, when you get into New Hampshire, I'm going to put a couple into New Hampshire, and then up here into present-day Maine or the Massachusetts colony. Okay, that's good. You don't want to put too many, all right? And that just shows a nice continuous range of mountains, okay, which kind of created that western barrier, keeping the movement. Now, even though the colonists didn't go too much further than those mountains, for many thousands of years, Native Americans had been living throughout this whole swath of land. And in the next video, we'll put a few of the tribal names of some of the Native Americans that lived in this area. We won't do it all. We won't put every tribal name, but we're going to discuss that as well in the next video. So just to finish this video off, I used a combination of brown and green in my key. So what I like to do is start with one color. I'm starting with a dark green, and I'm going to just jump around throughout that range. And I like to color the mountains individually. This leaves plenty of white space in between the mountains if you have to add any additional information. Okay, I'm going to work my way up all the way into the New England colonies. Okay, now I'll switch colors and I'll go with a light brown now. So just take your time, color each mountain individually. And if you keep switching colors, you'll end up with a nice combination of all those greens and browns. Here's some light green. Now you can see that mountain range really starting to show up nicely. Now everybody's going to do it a little differently. Some people's mountains will be a little bigger, smaller, so this will make every map look a little different in your class. Now, as far as labeling them, I like to label appellations running the length of the mountains like this. So I'm going to space my letters. A, P, P, A. I'm going to use all capital letters. A, A, P, P, A, L, A, C, H, I, A, N, and then we can put M, T, S. Now in New York, in the list over here in the mountain list, we included the, I'll check off Appalachian, but we also included the Adirondack Mountains, and those are up in this area of New York. So in small letters, I'm going to write Adirondack. So even within in this big range of mountains, sometimes we have names for smaller ranges as well. Okay, we've got the Adirondack Mountains, and we've also listed the White Mountains, which are located in kind of in this New Hampshire colony, the White Mountains. So maybe I'll squeeze that. Let's see if I can. There's a lot going on in that area. I'll just write it right here. White Mountains. And there may be some other smaller ranges within the Appalachian range too. So you can check off those 3 ranges. Okay, I'll continue to color my mountain symbols, and that range will really show up nicely. Okay, we're just about done. We're just going to have a little bit more to discuss in the next video about the Native Americans who lived in this area, and you may be adding those names into your map as well. Okay, thanks a lot.